Center mass. Something I can work with. Huh? What was that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that time again, right?
Yeah.
I figure as much. You know who it is. It's Zeus Cruz of Olympian Multimedia, giving you another segment of Get Things Done. As you can see, behind me will be the focal point of our video today, which is when it comes to photography, videography. Yes, I know, guys, the big thing right now in 2025 is utilizing a green screen, which, yes, it can prove to be very beneficial and effective when it comes to your videos and it comes to your photos. But what if you're in a situation where you don't have the means to get your hands on using a green screen? Well, you got options like this right here. Never underestimate the power and the effectiveness of using a very cool, dope backdrop for your photos and for your videos. So in this video, we're kind of just going to give some emphasis on using backdrops. I know you see in a lot of our videos, we definitely utilize that. Not to say we don't use a green screen or some other methods, other different types of elements that can be included within the photos and videos. But having a dope backdrop would allow you to add like different types of textures and add the different types of backgrounds and sceneries that you need to make these really cool, very elaborate, lush photos and videos. This one that you see on here, we just recently did a photo shoot with this backdrop. And it's pretty much goes without saying what it looks like. It's a cityscape, right? Looks like a back alleyway leading off right here, center mass. It shows a little bit of the city. Has sort of like a cyberpunk type of feel to it. And then if you notice on the sides, you have the graffiti. And then you have all this huge spectrum of different colors on here, right? So how is utilizing something like this can be effective when it comes to your photos and videos? Well, what I would recommend for you guys, if you are going to be using backdrops, is to get something that allows you to kind of break it down into different sections and allows you to do different things when it comes to your photos and videos. What do I mean by that? Well, if you notice here, let's just start off with the street itself, the back alleyway. If you kind of notice it, it has almost like a 3D feel to it. So it kind of looks like as if you're about to go into another section, right? Maybe another part of a building, so forth and so on. When in actuality, it's really just a reflection beaming off these steps, right? So in one way, you could kind of utilize that as a way of adding texture to your photo or video, right? And then notice too, the walls themselves on the buildings on each side. The dimensions that it provides in the angling. See, you might want to get some backdrops that allow you to do more of the heavy lifting. So you as the videographer or photographer, you don't have to do so much to provide these different types of angles and whatnot for whatever your subject matter is that you're going to be taking, right? Here you see the angling, how it has a central point and then it moves outward, right? On both sides. So as you're taking a photo or video, for instance, you have the curbing here that offsets, the wall itself for the building. So you can position someone, right, where they can kind of like kneel down and almost appear as if they're up against the curbing like that, right? And then you can encompass more of the background if that is your goal, right? Or you can use the other side and you can actually have your subject matter kind of put their arm out or make it appear like they're leaning against it. And then more the background would encompass their backside and you can get a nice side view of your subject. Basically, you want to allow yourself to get a backdrop where you can use different sections of it to offer you different types of photos in different dimensions when it comes to your video, right? Obviously, the way their stance and how they're posed is going to make the difference, right? Because you can also off-center them just enough so it looks as if they're walking onto this back alleyway, right? And then you can encompass all this, the background, and kind of make this kind of 3D effect as if they're going to literally walk through the canvas, right? And then don't underestimate the coloring as well. So what's important for you guys out there is lighting. Can't stress enough the importance of lighting, especially if you have this huge spectrum of colors. You can amplify a color to bring a little bit more shine and more realism to your photos and videos, right? So if you notice here, it's a whole plethora of colors, but you can see like some red and oranges kind of meshed together. You notice up here, this is supposed to mimic like a street light, and you see a little bit of that shine. So maybe your lighting can offer a little bit of tint and add a little bit more temperature to it. Something yellowish, orange, maybe a little bit of red. Utilize your different light fixtures, whether you're going to use professional lighting. There's also an option out there of different types of photo and video lenses on flashlight type of devices, where you can kind of like flicker through the different colors and whatnot, and then position them obviously in the way where it amplifies the color that you want within your backdrop, right? So when it comes to backdrops, pick something that will give you options where you can use the entire canvas and not just always have it where your subject is just centered. I'm not saying you're not going to get a good video or a good photo, but it's all about angling, right? It just adds that flair, that texture that you need to making your photo and your video come to life more, right? And then obviously, guys, it goes without saying, when it comes to your editing, you want to edit it properly so that the subject fits the framing of this properly. And then you encompass exactly what you're trying to do. Whether it is, like I said, trying to have somebody by the curb, they're leaned up against the wall, right? Or you just want to have a really dope pose as it encompasses the entire backdrop. So that's it. I hope this was enlightening for you guys. Just wanted to give you some quick tips and techniques when it comes to your photos and your video projects. Yes, you can use a green screen. Not talking you out of it. Green screens are great. But if you need another option, don't underestimate using a backdrop. And that's about it. I appreciate you guys tuning in. You know who it is. It's Zeus Cruz of Olympian Multimedia. And the only thing left to say is get things done. Check you later.